Welcome to another coffee talk. I haven't made art officially, like I haven't actually posted an actual art video on my channel for, I don't know, I feel like it's been a year, but I would say it's a little more than 6 months. The reason that I didn't make videos is partially because I didn't have motivation, but partially because throughout my life, and this I feel is permanent, I don't know if that's the right word, I feel it's been more concrete, especially with my art making, my YouTube channel creation. Are you an artist because other people call you an artist? Like, to be an artist, do you need the validation of other people to call you an artist, to actually be an artist? I think this concept goes for me personally, I mean, you can reflect on your own journey, where your artistry is, but I think this concept for me is very much about people pleasing, and also other, like the outside world validating your own concept of being an artist. And I think this goes perfectly with YouTube, because we are advised, and like obviously that's the whole point of YouTube, is it's based off other people liking your work. You would base your creation of videos based off like what other people like, and that's the advice people tell you in the YouTube industry. You want to be a famous YouTuber, put out videos and then see what other people like, and then put out work or videos that is centered around what other people like. For me, that's just been debilitating, especially in the creation process, because what people want, what my audience wants, and also this is also like basing creation process out of what other people like, then might lead you to creating work that you do not like, and then you're going to have you're going to be where I was. 6 months I was drained because I was doing work I didn't want to do. And this is something that I've been considering. You have to think about like, what do you want to be as an artist? Because yeah, your views might look at your views, and so maybe I'm like contrasting, maybe I'm moving away from what other people, some more success. So like, yeah, if a successful YouTuber is telling you like, oh, focus on like what other people click on, but then be mindful that if you're in a more creative process, or if your YouTube videos you're more inclined to the creativity of it, you might get burnt out because your art is more in response to what other people like, and then you're going to base off, oh, am I an artist because other people are calling me an artist? Am I an artist because other people, is my art good? Not based off my own reflection, not based on my own conception of what I like to create, what I think is good art, but what other people think is good art. And I think that's in the art world, I feel, in my experience, I feel that is debilitating for your creativity. And there should be a balance of like, a balance of putting out videos, making art for other people, but then I feel like in order to keep that self-sustainment, you have to also focus really on 80-90% of the time art for yourself. But let's go to like the philosophical question of which was the reason for this video. Yeah, let's take a pause. Let's go inward a little. Let's get philosophical. You can tell I haven't made YouTube videos in so long because I'm like jittery, a little anxiety, a little anxious. Let's go back to the question of, are you an artist because other people call you an artist? And this is something that I really struggled with as a child, because I wanted to be seen as an artist. I wanted other people, I wanted someone that I looked highly upon, an art teacher or a parent, to tell me oh wow, you have so much potential, you have so much talent, you really need to do something, and providing that foundation, providing that support, and that influence to do what I actually wanted to do, which was make art. But instead, what happens is that when you look to other people to tell you what you actually want to do, what your soul actually craves, that when you're not given that, you're given other things. And when you base off your path, your career, whatever that signifies for you, whatever that means for you, whenever you count on the exterior, people, situations, your environment, to affirm what your soul actually craves. And what happens is other people's opinions, other people's foresights of who you are is going to contrast with your own perception of who you are. Because what happened was I craved this, I craved to be seen for my art. That's what I wanted, and I wanted someone outside of me to tell me, oh, you're such a great artist, you really have the potential, but I didn't get it. What happened was that I would be highlighted, I would be complimented for my writing. Not that I was a good writer, but that I read a lot as a kid. And people's perceptions of what you're good at is going to contrast with how you show up in the world. And as a more introverted, shy, quiet child, my inward world was a lot more vibrant than my outward world. So what people saw and would compliment was completely contrasting to who I wanted to be, what I wanted to be. And I think the dilemma with like, are you an artist because other people call you an artist? Are you an artist because inside your soul you're like, yeah, I am an artist, this is what I want my life to be, this is what I am in my soul. So it really has to do with like self-concept of yourself, of believing in yourself, and now looking outward for other people to tell you, oh, this is who you are. Because in the same sense, people would tell me I'm shy, I'm the quiet kid, and I hated that because what I craved was attention, but I never put myself in that attention. It made me uncomfortable. But think about, like, are you craving that attention as an artist because you're just trying to get validation? Because if you know you're an artist, if you already have that foundation within yourself of like, I don't need other people, and it's nice, I don't need other people's validation, I know I'm an artist. And if someone's like, you make shitty art, and you can be like, well, it's not your thing, my art isn't your thing, so you could like just swipe that comment. I was always looking to other people, and I still do that, where I'm like, well, how do you see me? What am I good at? Making that self-reflection, like, I don't actually want to be a teacher. I want to be in the background. I want to be focused on a project without interruptions of having to socialize. But in the sense of like, I'm not put in the position where I'm put in a leadership role where I have to teach. I like the prospect of creating with a child. I like the prospect of learning with a child. And this is what drives me towards this field. It also has to do with inner child work. I wanted to be more art focused, but it does have to do starting to not look outward to get the validation. It has to do with self-concept of becoming the person who actually validates who you want to be. In order to do that, you have to be aware. You have to be, you have to do that deep self-reflection of where did this come from. And for me, it came from like, you look to the outside world to tell you where your path is. It's going to contrast with what your soul craves, because you're looking to other people. Never do the self-reflection if you never have the time to be like, well, what do I want? And I did get like a few teachers here and there, impactful, that told me like, hey, you have the potential. I never went with it because just insecurity, and I just felt like, oh, this isn't the person I wanted it from, so it's invalid. It doesn't count. I guess it goes with making YouTube videos, because if we're constantly looking to the outside, for the outside, looking to a person to validate our experience, to validate what we want to do, to validate, to make art, to validate, hey, I want to be an artist, then you're just constantly just gonna wait for the outside world to match what you want. And you're never gonna take that step forward to be a serious artist because you're waiting for other people to validate who you are. But that's the fact. People validating who you are, you have to already know who you are. You have to already have that self-concept of yourself. I am an artist, I am a writer, I am whatever. And then the outside world will validate, and it won't be you seeking out from insecurity because you didn't get that validation. So you're waiting for other people to validate an experience that you want, but you're choosing to not experience because you're waiting for other people to create that foundation for you. But we are the creators of our reality. There's honestly not much more that I have to say about that, except it's about not looking for the outside, for the outer world, for the outer reality to validate the experience that you want. So if the experience that you want is that you want to be an artist, then you need to create that in the outer world. You need to show up as that, and then the outer world, other people will then validate you, and it will be something that will be a layer on top of what you already know. I think this goes perfectly with YouTube, making YouTube videos, because when we're constantly creating something as an artist or whatever that means to you, then it's like, then you're creating things out of the validation that other people, so that when other people don't like it, you're like, I'm not a good artist. But then when you make things that people like and it's not actually what you want to do, you're gonna get exhausted, you're gonna get tired out, and also it's not going to be aligned with your creation process. So it's gonna feel like you're not gonna have the will to actually continue. You're not gonna have that energy, isn't going to be consistent. That creation energy isn't going to be consistent because you're not doing something that you already like. So I think with YouTube videos, that's why in creation process, that's why it's so important. Create art that you enjoy, because then you will attract people that actually like it. But I think the advice of creating random videos and then seeing what other people like, I don't think that really goes well in my experience with being an artist or a creative creator. Because then what happens is that you're in this place where you feel stuck because you're creating for other people to like it. It's just going to put you in a space where you're creating for the validation. You're not creating for the process. I'm gonna stop this video here because I want these to kind of be like short podcasts. So I want them to be under 20 minutes at least, or at least 20 minutes, and this is why I usually do them in the morning. But anyway, yeah, this is kind of like me trying to get back into making art videos, kind of back into reintroducing myself.